We got a problem. It's the best cheap Cabernet you can buy. Okay, here's where we're at. As you can see, the van's been sitting here for 2 months, and all I've done was the insulation. I'm off to a slow start.
There were a few not so glamorous projects that needed to be done. Important steps that take time. The van came with these gutsy cargo tie downs all around the perimeter, and they all needed to be removed. In my case, I will be reusing these points to mount my floor system. They were Loctited in pretty deep, and I did not want to risk stripping them out, so power tools were out of the question. Another prep was repurposing my fancy equipment carts from my lighting and grip days. What I really wanted were those cool mechanics carts with all the drawers. I would look like a real worker, especially if I got one of those mechanics jumpsuits with my name on it. But those things would not make the final product any better. So I started to create rolling tool carts. Easy in, easy out. That makes for a quick startup and breakdown at the end of the day. Means I can work longer.
Here's the problem. Actually, I'm just going to show you instead of talking about it. This is a facsimile of what the frame members on the floor are going to look like. But you get the idea. 80/20 framing sits on top of the heavy mass vinyl. The heavy mass vinyl is the first thing down on the raw van floor, and then the frame members go on top. Then I can run my electrical and my plumbing. I set thinsulate in each of these sections, and I put my plywood on top. All right, I said it, plywood. The plywood floor is, the subfloor is the only wood I'm using in the structure of this van. I'll use a little bit of wood in my cabinetry as a design element. But I don't want anything that could rot, mold, shrink, expand, none of that. There will be no problems with any of the material. This stuff doesn't rot, it's aluminum. I love this stuff. Oh, this is so nice.
I'm going to show you 2 ways to cut a nice tight template out of cardboard. I start by taking some rough measurements of the wheel well to cut a working piece of cardboard. Then you transfer the wheel well dimensions onto the working piece, staying square to the van body. Cut out your rough opening in the cardboard and also slice up some cardboard strips. Position the rough opening and tape it down to the floor. Now start shaping the wheel well curve using the strips. Tape them in place or use a hot glue gun. The more strips you use, the smoother your curve will be. Now take that monstrosity and transfer the shape to a fresh piece of cardboard. This is not my preferred method, but it is a quick method. I will be refining these templates using Luan, a more permanent, reusable template.
But here are the problems. As I said, 2 months this van's been sitting here. I did some cardboard work, very cute. But let's get going. The lead time on this stuff is 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I placed my order. 2 weeks went by. I called. I says, where is my stuff? You know, I'm from northern New Jersey. Nothing is done quick enough for us. Nothing is fast enough, okay? We need it now. She says in the email, we're working on it very diligently. We'll ship it in a couple of days. In a couple of days? Give me a date. What do you mean in a couple of days? How do you run a business like that? Well, this stuff is slow in coming. So I got to be real smart about how I order and how I schedule the orders. Here's my problem. This is why I don't have a floor in right now. This is 1.5 inch 80/20. The frame is going to get riv nuts, 1/4 stainless steel riv nuts into the floor of the van. And I'm also using those spots where I pulled up the cargo rings. I'm using those mounting points to attach this. So once this floor system is in place, it's one with the van. It's rock solid. 1.5 inches is too ambitious for my subfloor. It's too thick. I thought I'd be working with it. It's too heavy. It's too thick. I don't want that. This is 1.5 inches. Then I got a 1/2 inch of plywood. I got 1/8 of an inch of mass vinyl. I'm bringing the floor up too high. I don't want to do that. So I ordered 1 inch stock. Same as this, 1 inch. So this stuff I'm going to use to begin my galley. My galley is the 6-foot countertop here and the sink area. It's an L-shaped module. That's one module. I'm starting with that. I got the material to do that. My lithium batteries here, my inverter charger, all of those electronics are going to be sitting on a shelf that I build over this wheel well. So it's got to be gutsy. This is some heavy stuff over here. This is the stuff to use.
Now here's my preferred method for making a template. Strike your wheel well dimensions left and right on your working cardboard. Stay square to the van when doing so. Because the top edge of the wheel well is flat enough to hold a straight edge, I was able to quickly transfer the height over to the cardboard. Just make sure the cardboard is sitting where you want it on the floor. Mark up and cut out your rough opening. Now grab another smaller piece of cardboard that you will use for scribing, using a fender washer and a pencil. You just keep scribing and cutting until the shape grows and fits where you want it. Tape it in place and repeat on the other side. Transfer this shape to a fresh piece of cardboard and mark it up to help you with orientation. An interesting thing I learned during this exercise. I figured if I just took my template across the van to the driver's side, it would fit, thinking they made a left wheel well and a right wheel well. It did not fit. I had to flip it. Mercedes manufactures one wheel well and uses it on both sides of the van. Isn't that like wearing two left shoes?
This is my freshwater tank. 45 gallons. This is right where it's going to sit. The futon is right over it. 45 gallons of fresh water. I'm going to have my fill on the outside. a small stainless steel access like they have in boats. You'll never notice it, but that's where you'll fill your tank. And then the supply line is uninterrupted all the way to the rear of the van, where all of my plumbing guts is going to be. You'll never have to worry about from here to there. There's no junctions, no unions, no leaks. This water tank, go to the next boat show. Find the biggest, most expensive, most beautiful boat at the show. Go deep into the bowels of the bilge. You're going to find these tanks. This company services the yachting industry. The best boats, the best yachts on the sea use these tanks. And now it's in my van. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have an 8-inch access panel right here in the top of the tank. You don't get to do that in RVs or in vans. But in this one, you take that futon mattress away, you unscrew your access hatch, you can look in the tank, you can clean the tank. That's the way it should be. The water that comes through this van should come through this freshwater tank. I don't think I even want to provide a city water hookup. Think about this. You use the tank. Fill the tank, use the tank. Fill the tank, use the tank. That way the water's always fresh, the tank stays clean. If you fill your tank and then you go somewhere and you hook up to city water for 3 weeks, this water's sitting for 3 weeks. That's how problems start. You don't need that. If you're living in a van and it's a mobile lifestyle, do you really need city water? Not if you have 45 gallons of fresh and you know it's always fresh because it's always being used. That's my theory. Oh, you know what these are? These are my apple boxes. That's what these are called, apple boxes. These are from the film industry. Yep, movies, film. I know, I'm in the business. So if you're on a set and things are moving fast and you can't screw up, your director of photography says, go get me a full apple box and lay it down Los Angeles. That's what he wants, he or she. Go get me a full apple box and lay it down Chicago. That's what he's talking about. Lay it down New York. That's New York.
Thanks for subscribing. Oh, you haven't yet? Just click below.